directly by abroad. So none of them serve as a branch executive.
Greetings, dear colleagues, dear guests in YouTube and here in Zoom meeting. So we came to the third panel, and I want to greet each of the panelist speakers. First, I want to introduce all of them. Ani Hambartsumian from Armenia, Zoraida Fernandez from Paraguay, and Nancy Mayara from Kenya. I want to greet you all, dear panelists. So we are starting smoothly, and I want to introduce first our dear speaker from Armenia. We're moving from the second panel to the third panel, humanitarian response. From Cyprus, we now return to the Caucasus, to one of the beautiful country of Armenia. Please join me to welcome Miss Ani Hambartsumian. Since 2020, she has served as an arbitrator with the Financial Arbitration of the Union of Banks of Armenia. Since 2023, she is also licensed mediator and the board member of the Chamber of Mediators of the Republic of Armenia. Ani represents the growing strength of mediation in Armenia, combining professionalism with a commitment to building fair and sustainable solutions. I know I have been short as I could. I do believe you have more and more credentials there, Anijan.
Parevzes. Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here and to speak in this forum. Thank you for introduction.
Stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Ani Hambartsumian. I'm a mediator from Armenia. And negotiation and mediation for me is more important because of country where I born. So we have conflicts with neighbor countries, and negotiation and mediation is a very important part of our life, our day life, let's say that kind of. So today I'm honored to speak a critical and deeply challenging topic, negotiating humanitarian access under the fire. And I know many of you see this problem, this issue face to face in their countries. So this is very important topic for me. This subject is not only timely but crucial as conflict zones worldwide increasingly present obstacles that make traditional humanitarian approaches insufficient, and it is sad to say that now worldwide increasing conflicts make this topic more critical to discuss. So let's share also some slides, PowerPoint. So So let's firstly discuss why it's important to have humanitarian access, why this matter is so important. Let's say this is the, in many cases, this is the only hope for people under fire. It enables delivery of food, water, medicine, and people in critical zones under the fireway. In some cases, they don't have even water and any other life-saving assistance. Of course, upholds human dignity, mitigates sufferings, and also the secure way to access to people who want to leave country. This is all why humanitarian access is really, really better for us. For example, I can bring the recent example in our country for my nation when many of Armenians, thousands of Armenians, have no chance to move to go to secure places, and they suffer and haven't any water, food, or electricity, gas because of blockade of Azerbaijan, especially in the territory of Republic of Artsakh, also known as Nagorno-Karabakh. As many of you know, Republic of Artsakh and Armenian nation have conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh with Azerbaijan, and during the conflict, thousands of Armenians was blocked under the some reasons under the fire. So civilians were left for days without food, water, electricity, forced to endure unimaginably hardships while the international community watched, and no safe corridors or reliable negotiation channels were open to all those citizens to evacuate or receive aid. In this situation, the negotiation and giving the safe space for people under the attack is very important. But in my opinion, recent conflicts have relieved the harsh reality and old methods and mechanisms for delivering humanitarian aid, and are often no longer effective. So we need new methods, new ways to negotiate a safe environment for people under the attack. The conflict environment and risks for mediators, for people who negotiate, is always the active hostilities, shifting front lines, because many of communication and negotiation took part under the attack of military. So this is very the most risk for mediators or for people who negotiate the humanitarian access. So there are conflicts and the risk are blockades, like in a case in Nagorno-Karabakh. Then they blocked under the false pretenses such as environment protests, but not environment, but no other reason can blockade access of humanitarian aid to people. Damaged or blocked infrastructure, it is also the risk to get humanitarian aid because of the military attack. Roads or airports may be damaged, so mediators can have difficulties to reach the aid to people. So and of course, security threats like ambush, mines, shelling. So this is all the environment risks, and for negotiating people, for mediators who negotiating the access for humanitarian aid. Of course, the main thing we must point in negotiation is humanity, is neutrality and independence, because countries who has or nations who has conflicts, they are more emotional and not neutrality, have not neutrality point of view. So for negotiators, it is very important to be independence, to have independence, to have neutrality, to help both parties to solve issues and give people with a necessary aid. Of course, this is non-political and non-militarily alignment also, and it is more in neutrality and independence, core principles of the negotiation. Because if you are put in your negotiation some political or military issues, negotiations can fail, and you can't have a chance to help people. Transparency and clarity of purpose, of course, then you must negotiate and speak for people, for helping people, and no other topics or matters in this case. So you must point that all you negotiating now is for people who is under attack, who need water, who need food. So you must point your speech, point your negotiation. And of course, it is building the trust with all parties, because if you are, you have neutrality, if you are independence and non-political and non-military, so you can have a chance to build trust between parties, so they can understand that only interest you have is to provide aid to people. What common obstacles and dilemmas under the fire we can also see during negotiation? Of course, the parties refusing consent, denying access. As I mentioned in Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, they can deny access by several reasons, even with environment protests, so-called environment protests, and blocked the reaching the aid to people. So denying access, of course, is a very difficult part of negotiation, because in many cases you must reach people, reach the government representatives, so to be there to make aid more reachable for people. The second one is diversion or levy demands by armed actors. So this is most dangerous for negotiators, for mediators. Communication blackouts or misinformation. This is also very common problem in negotiation. Then parties give not full or not real facts, and you must separate all facts and all reality, make reality check if needed, so you can make negotiation process more easily for you. So legal barriers, of course, because in many cases in negotiating, we may have no attorneys, legal representatives. So it is very important to have legal representatives and to have more access to legal processing, and if you needed to make some legal processes to during your negotiation, to have access to people, to country, to aid. And of course, security of staff and assets. This is the main point I mentioned earlier. Then negotiators, mediators, and they have difficulties, and this is more a health and life issue. So in any cases, the security of negotiators, mediators must be in the first place because of life issues. So the main strategic and best practices what can be used by negotiators, by mediators, is stakeholder mapping. It's identifying of all actors. Then you start your preparation for negotiation. It is very important to do some kind of homework and to know well who with whom you are going to negotiate, what country, what government, what kind of people needed aid, what conflict it is, to know exactly what you must face to. Use trusted local intermediaries, negotiators, and local peoples as well, because it is very important for a negotiator, for mediator, to know inside information, to know the nuances of negotiating, nuances of local people, local governments. So you can use this method, use these people in your during your negotiation. Propose humanitarian pauses or corridors. It is also very important, because in this case you can access easily to people, to and also guarantee of reaching the medicine, food, water by these corridors. Offer clear terms and guarantees, timing, route, cargo, identity. It is also very important, because, as I said, when you have conflict parties, all issues, all questions they have is very emotional for parties. So you must make them clearly know what are you going to do, what is the timing, route of aid or support of people. So all parties will trust you and will know exactly what are you going to do, what the negotiation will give them, and what to expect from this aid. And of course, flexibility of planning, of negotiation, because in real cases, in even cases not so widely, not under the fire, even in local cases, in local conflicts, when you choose some method in during the mediation or during the negotiation, everything can change during a second, and you must catch the moment and change negotiation methods, and not focus on one method you choose or you prepared or you did in your homework in preparation of negotiations. So the conflicts can change very, very quick, and you must be flexible in this case to change method to have success in a negotiation. And of course, risk assessment and security protocols, when you must know exactly what risk will be, what you will be faced to, and what can harm even you in this negotiation process, or what risk can have people during for example, humanitarian corridors access or aid delivery, because in many cases we have problems when the aid reached to people. For example, barrels of water reach to people, but because of many people covered in the space of barrels, many of them have injured and have health issues. So you must mention also this risk in negotiation, and ask government or military to give access to safe space for aid, or space corridors for people to leave the country or region, and not be harmed more than in their homes. Access is not a gift, it's a right, and this is very important words for me, because many of people, many of groups, many of governments representatives think that when we give access to humanitarian aid, to medicine, to food, to water, this is some kind of gift they give you and to these people, but this is the most important right of people to be safe, to be in secure territory, to have access to a minimal aid to water, to medicine, food, and this is the most important thing what you must use in your negotiation methods, to speak to government representatives, to military representatives, to ask them not make this such kind of gift, but keep the right of people to have this aid, to have water, to have food. So in negotiation, in this case, it is important your proposal, your speech, your aim to for negotiating, to be sure that conflict parties have access, have the mind that we must give chance for humanitarian aid. This is the main point for negotiators, for mediators, to give them this point of mindset. So as I said earlier in my speech, the old methods, it is sad to say, but old methods, old international organization are not so effective now, and now we must think all together to make new ways, new methods in negotiation for humanitarian aid, for new maybe organizations or groups or representatives in many conflict areas, territories around the world, to make sure that no one will suffer. No one will suffer without water, without medicine, without food, because as we see nowadays, no sanctions are effective. Many sanctions are just sanctions in economic or something, but the war is going, the conflicts are continuous, and people are suffering nowadays. And we have many rules, so many conventions, but nothing now is really effective, I can say. And even the most famous organizations now can't access in many cases to government representatives, to military, to give people aid where needed. So the important task for all of us, the important a question for all of us, for all nations, for all countries, to sit down all together and make decisions, make new methods, new ways, new sanctions for conflict parties to be more effective in humanitarian aid access. Thank you very much. Thank you for chance to speak, to share my point of view of negotiating in such a difficult issue, such a difficult conflict, because this is a very important topic nowadays. And as I mentioned, it is very sad that many of methods in negotiation, in mediation, or in helping people nowadays are not effective anymore. And we all together need to think, to make new methods, new possibilities for people.
Thank you very much, Ani. I will ask you to stay because we have a different the format. So all panelists have to stay, and after all presentations, we will have a discussion and answering the questions which we have already for you. And we are moving from the Caucasian region from the Eurasia, we are moving to Latin America, Paraguay. So I want to introduce, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Azoraida Fernandez, a distinguished lawyer, a notary public, mediator, certified, accredited this with Ministry of Justice of Paraguay, graduated from the Faculty of Law, Social Science of the National University of Asunción, if I spell correct. So she holds diplomas in university mediation, multi-juridical mediation, and advanced courses in facilitation. Loyola University of Spain and the Juridical School of Paraguay with expertise on mediation law and university teaching. Dr. Fernandez is also a respected speaker who bridges legal knowledge with the practical approaches to conflict resolution. Which is great, and her career reflects a strong commitment to justice, education, and the advancement of mediation in Paraguay and beyond. So, dear Doctora Zoraida Fernandez, stage is yours. Your ambassador is here as well, who will represent you, but I already represent you for our audience in the Zoom meeting and beyond. Stage is yours. Hola.
Muchas gracias, Cristina. Un gusto estar en este panel de IAMPE y agradecer desde ya el poder permitirme estar hoy para este tema tan importante que es la ayuda humanitaria y la mediación. Voy a compartir pantalla. No sé si me van a apoyar desde allá o voy a realizarlo yo directamente. A ver, voy a compartir pantalla. Compartir. Mm,
I will share
no
again
estoy,
all Spanish
no
and
estoy,
Arabic speaking speakers. You can watch on the YouTube channel translation.
ah, vamos a tratar de compartir pantalla. Compartir. Ahí, ahí está, sí. Bueno, antes que nada, em, vamos a hablar de la ayuda comunitaria y podemos decir que vivimos tiempos en donde la crisis humanitaria y la mediación son necesarias porque cada vez más vemos este tipo de emergencias que se dan ya sea por factores de armados, cambios climáticos, movimientos de grupos de personas, migraciones masivas, sobre todo cambios climáticos que tenemos con incendios, sequías, inundaciones, cambios de temperaturas que hacen que surja la necesidad de que aparezcan organismos o grupos de personas que se encarguen en realizar esta ayuda humanitaria a los grupos más sensibles. Vamos a definir la ayuda humanitaria como una respuesta para mitigar el sufrimiento que provoca estos conflictos o desastres, brindando así un apoyo básico a todos esos grupos sensibles que están siendo afectados por estos fenómenos, brindándoles alimentos, salud y refugio. La mediación humanitaria cumple un factor muy importante porque ya que es una herramienta flexible, ayuda a través de procesos y principios, eh, ayuda siguiendo pasos y procesos definidos a facilitar que esta ayuda sea canalizada, sea realmente más rápidas, evitando la burocracia entre las personas que la están necesitando. El objetivo principal, de la ayuda humanitaria es establecer una zona en donde las personas que están siendo afectadas se les garantice de que van a ser auxiliadas desde lo más básico hasta lo más necesario. Es decir, desde recibir agua, alimento, también la contención emocional y también la parte médica. Factores, organizaciones que se agrupan para reunir grupos de personas que actúan de forma voluntaria, ya sea realizando la parte de mediación, como también reparto de alimentos o de auxilio para aplacar pues, un incendio o de rescate en muchas de las veces. Eh, los actores de la ayuda humanitaria realmente cumplen un papel importante, ya que establecen la confianza de las personas que están siendo vulneradas en sus, en, en- en- en sus recursos más básicos. Eh, la- Podemos decir que las negociaciones siempre se centran en el esfuerzo de construir la confianza y dando así un plazo a las partes para llegar a nivelar las operaciones que se pueden llegar a cabo de acuerdo con los términos y las logísticas de las operaciones humanitarias, siendo los mediadores el elemento fundamental para este proceso. Los principios. Los principios son básicos, es guiar a la humanidad, se guía por valores de humanidad, de neutralidad, de imparcialidad y de independencia. El rol que cumple las organizaciones que actúan como mediadores humanitarios es el de movilizar y brindar una ayuda vital y trabajar de manera conjunta, tratando de mitigar esas causas que llevaron a estos grupos humanos a ese conflicto, a esa crisis. Así tenemos muchos grupos que actúan, organizaciones que actúan en distintas partes del mundo, brindando realmente esa ayuda y movilizando para que la ayuda humanitaria y la crisis que se crea sean mitigadas. Em, la mediación humanitaria, podemos decir en su concepto más básico que es un proceso en el que un tercero neutral ayuda a las partes de un conflicto a llegar a un acuerdo voluntario buscando soluciones que mejoran el acceso a la ayuda humanitaria y a la protección de la población. El proceso incluye el análisis del conflicto, las reuniones preparatorias de las partes, la definición de reglas, el intercambio de información, la identificación de los problemas y la generación de las soluciones para llegar a un acuerdo. El objetivo en crisis puede ayudar a garantizar la seguridad de las organizaciones humanitarias, el acceso a las comunidades que están siendo afectadas y la protección de los civiles en zonas de conflicto. Relaciones entre las respuestas humanitarias y la mediación. La mediación puede ser una herramienta complementaria a las respuestas y las respuestas de las personas afectadas. Y abordan los factores de conflicto que a menudo empeoran con las crisis humanitarias. La mediación humanitaria no solamente colabora con, colabora con todas las personas que están pasando esta problemática. Podemos decir que si bien como actúan en un campo muy amplio, que es el de no solamente actuar de mediadores en la parte de de alimentos o de ayuda, ya sea en la parte médica, en la parte logística. La mediación ayuda a que en estos casos de crisis se facilite esa ayuda y se canalice de una manera más rápida, ya sea cuando tenemos un conflicto armado, el mediador siempre actúa como un tercero imparcial, buscando, profundizándose haciendo el análisis profundo del problema a que lleva a esa crisis y buscando con las partes, las soluciones que puedan mitigarse y hacer que los efectos de esas crisis sean más leves. Por eso el papel y el rol que cumple el mediador humanitario es realmente importante. Vemos que cada vez más existen conflictos en distintas partes del mundo, conflictos de todo tipo. En algunos lugares tenemos, como dijimos anteriormente, conflictos armados. En otras partes tenemos conflictos en la parte alimentaria y es necesaria esa gestión que tenga que realizar el mediador para que esa ayuda llegue en forma canalizada a las personas que realmente lo están necesitando. Nadie está exento de decir de que no necesita de una ayuda humanitaria, porque en verdad no debemos llegar a cubrir todo lo que realmente estamos necesitando. Necesitamos de la colaboración de todos. Entonces, es ahí que surge la ayuda humanitaria de civiles que actúan de forma voluntaria, como también de organismos que se juntan y realizan una labor importante, así como las Naciones Unidas, la Secretaría de Protección, que se involucra en lo que pasa en cada parte del mundo. Y la forma de ayudar y mitigar de que los civiles no pasen mal y que de alguna manera se sientan protegidos es buscando la ayuda de los mediadores humanitarios y de la ayuda humanitaria en general, donde involucra no solamente al mediador, sino a personas que trabajan en las distintas profesiones, rescatistas, médicos, em, eh, técnicos, mediadores, en fin, un sinnúmero de personas que sin su trabajo voluntario no sería tan fácil hacer llegar realmente soluciones a tantos lugares que hoy en día vemos que están en crisis. Hemos tenido en Europa casi todos los veranos y también en Sudamérica tenemos incendios que son tan necesarios y a veces localmente no podemos cubrir ni hacer lo necesario para mitigar esos incendios. Pero con la ayuda comunitaria de otros países podemos lograrlo. Por eso yo invoco de que es necesaria la ayuda humanitaria a nivel global y sobre todo hacer el trabajo de mediadores humanitarios para que no solamente sirvamos eh, como medios de llevar ayuda solo a nuestro país, sino también a nivel internacional. Y desde ya podemos decir que el rol que cumple cada una de las personas en la ayuda humanitaria es fundamental y demos un lugar grande, sobre todo a los mediadores, que como mensajeros de paz comienzan con su mensaje de tratar de dialogar para buscar una solución a cada crisis que aparece en el mundo. Gracias.
Gracias, Zoraida. It was a pleasure to hear and insightful. So we are moving to another speaker and all discussion at the end, as I mentioned it before. So now we are moving from Latin America, from nice carnival of peace to African continent. So we are moving to Kenya, a country known for the rich culture diversity and breathtaking landscapes, a vibrant role in religion diplomacy, as I know. And it's my pleasure to introduce Miss Nancy Manyara, a distinguished accountant, arbitrator, mediator with over the decade of experience in accounting, finance, 5 years at IDR. Nancy brings expertise that bridge both conflict resolution and economic diplomacy. She is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitration, certified public account of Kenya, and holds an MBA from the University of Nairobi. Beyond her practice, Nancy has contributed leadership on various committees and the board, making so that he's a board and making us a trusted voice in the both IDR across the region. I would like to thank Nancy to be here. So thank you for being here, Nancy, and share your expertise. I understand this, what you want to share today is important for you as well as for Kenya. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Christine, and the organizing team for this opportunity to speak during this conference. I'm going to share my presentation. So my topic is on mediation in refugee camps, a case study of Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya. Kakuma refugee camp was established in 1992, and it is located in northwestern Kenya. It hosts over 200,000 refugees and asylum seekers from various countries, including Somalia, Burundi, Sudan, Ethiopia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The camp faces numerous challenges, including overcrowding, resource scarcity, security concerns, and trauma. On your screen, you can see a picture of women lining up for water. Water is a scarce commodity in this camp, and conflict mainly arises due to cultural differences, resource scarcity, and trauma. And to address these challenges, the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees and its partners introduced a mediation program back in the year 2018. And the aim was to reduce tension and promote peaceful coexistence among the refugees and between refugees and host community. So what were the key components? There was training of refugees. This is where selected members or from the refugee communities were trained in mediation, where they are equipped with the skills of active listening, empathy, and problem solving. So these trained mediators were able to understand the needs and concerns of all the parties involved. And I have shared a picture where we have UN volunteers conducting a training. The next component is where trained mediators worked within their communities to resolve disputes in order to promote peaceful coexistence. Then the trained mediators collaborated with camp management, security agents, and others in order to address the security concerns. So, did mediation have any impact on refugee communities? The answer is yes. Mediation led to reduced conflicts, within the camp, thus creating a more peaceful environment for refugees. Mediation helped build trust and understanding between the refugees and the host communities, therefore promoting peaceful coexistence. The mediation program empowered refugees communities to take ownership of conflict resolution, therefore promoting resilience and self-reliance. There was reduced violence, that is physical and verbal conflicts, therefore creating a safer environment. Mediation helped to reduce stress and anxiety, therefore promoting mental awareness, mental health, mental well-being. And refugees felt safer and more secure, enabling them to focus on rebuilding their lives. As we speak, we have markets in Kakuma refugee camp, and we have refugees who own businesses. We also have refugees who are doing farming, and this is a program that was initiated by Cooperative Bank. Then mediation promoted understanding and cooperation among refugees from diverse backgrounds. And there was increased access to justice. And this is because mediation provided an accessible and affordable means of resolving disputes. I've shared an image there. This is an ongoing football match, and this involves refugees and members of the host community. You can also see there is a large crowd there, comprising of refugees and members of the host community who have come together to enjoy the football match. And this is enabled through a program called Sports for Peace. This is where sports programs are used as a platform to teach non-violent conflict resolution skills. So this kind of football match create a neutral space for positive interaction and cooperation between refugees and the local people. So what were the challenges faced by the mediators? Mediators faced challenges communicating with refugees from diverse backgrounds. Mediators had limited resources, including funding and infrastructure. Refugees experienced trauma and stress, making mediation more complex. Sustainability of this program depended on ongoing support and training for mediators. So, were there any lessons that were learned? The answer is yes. Mediators required cultural sensitivity training to effectively address conflicts within diverse refugee communities. Effective collaboration between mediators, camp management, and security personnel was crucial to the program's success. Mediation approaches should be adopted to the specific context and need of each refugee camp. This is where we should modify approaches to align with the values and norms of the parties involved. So what were the best practices that were put in place after learning the lessons? Mediators received training on cultural sensitivity and awareness. Mediators engaged with the community to build trust and promote mediation. Mediators collaborated with camp management and other organizations to ensure a comprehensive approach. So, is there a future for mediation in refugee camps? I would say there is future directions. And the first one is scaling up mediation. This involves expanding mediation services to more refugee camps and communities, building ongoing training and support for mediators, and then conducting research and evaluation to improve mediation services. So the next question comes is, what is this research and evaluation that needs to be done in order to improve mediation services? So this takes us to the next slide, which is future research directions. And the first one is evaluating mediation outcomes. This is proposing a research that will identify the effectiveness of mediation in refugee camps. How effective is the mediation practice in the refugee camps? Secondly is exploring the experience and perception of refugees in mediation, noting that refugees are the consumers of the mediation services. How do they feel about this mediation? How do they perceive mediation? So there is need for such kind of research to be conducted. And then a research should also be conducted to identify best practices for mediation in refugee camps. So in conclusion, the mediation program in Kakuma refugee camp demonstrates the potential of mediation and other ADR mechanisms to promote peace and stability in crisis setting. By empowering refugee communities and promoting peaceful coexistence, mediation can contribute to a more resilient and peaceful environment for refugees and host communities. Thank you.
That's great. It was really insightful.
Thank you.
I'm really excited. You know why? From different countries, different continents, the experienced human being came to the table, this conference, this round table. I will call just not that a conference, we just like a round table where we discuss in the panel about what? About the humanitarian crisis worldwide, from Armenia to Africa, from Africa to Latin America. What unites us? Crisis, the refugees, displacement, homeless people, these triggers, what you know, it's not just it's I call this humanitarian genocide. I don't know if somebody disagree with me, but it's a global humanitarian genocide. Doesn't matter if we are from Kenya and the Kenyan camp, we have everywhere this camp. And here is our ambassador, and exactly he's specializing in this humanitarian crisis. He's super professional, Andrew. Now he's here and he's listening because this is his pain. He's working every day, every second with this kind of camps and helps. And tomorrow, please join, because tomorrow, as a special moderator, we will have a person who exactly escaped from this humanitarian crisis. So let me bring on the table now my questions. Yes, exactly, Nancy, you're correct. So I will just ask, I will start from Nancy. I will just go, because we are now as a panelist, we will just share our thoughts. We can freely ask each other the questions. How do you think, Nancy, in this African context, where we're facing Africa is rich. We will say white is white, black is black. So we don't mix the colors. Africa is rich with everything. Even though now new huge organizations came to Kenya, I do believe you understand about which organization I talk about. So, and they opened there because why? Because Africa is one of the heart, and he reached with everything. And how the Africa do humanitarian response in African context, of course, adapt to these challenges of conflict, climate change, and poverty. Because Africa is facing now the huge climate change. Because I had the privilege to attend the climate change diplomacy group, where we discussed it about in context each of the continents, what they are facing, in Africa as well. How do you think? Can Africa, after the, like it just huge will be question, can Africa lead this humanitarian model challenges, what you just show us that this kind of where they are facing, they have challenges, but they have future directions, how the mediators can work in the camps, how they can, this kind of model of the African model humanitarian crisis can the dominance of the Western centric aid structures. You understand my meaning point of view, right?
I think I understand your point of view and the question, and I will try to answer it the best way I understand it. And you'd like to hear my view on how Africa can handle the challenges or overcome the challenges we are facing looking into the future. And I'd say, first of all, we need to own up these challenges and we stop relying on the foreigners. So we as Africans, we need to stand on our own feet and start our own initiative. And I would like to congratulate one of our organizations here in Kenya, Kenya National Commission of Human Rights. It's very active on the ground, and they have come up with a program called Haki na Ushirikiano. So to translate in English is justice and collaboration. So with this kind of programs where we have a project that offers legal aid and giving capacity building, this can bridge the gap that you are facing or can take us into the future if we can have these kind of projects strengthened and also more projects coming in. Still, with the peace education program can also be very effective in overcoming these challenges that we are currently facing. And I'd also say that Africans, we need to be responsible of our actions, because some of the challenges that we are facing, and especially with the climate change, we are contributors. So we really need to look into that and own up our responsibility and change our ways of doing things and looking at things. So I would say Africa, we have the capability of standing on our own and implementing these programs that will take us forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will to say kudos. I will just take a chance to say kudos to African Women Union, who is working hard. They are really revolutionized and they are innovators. The projects they are doing, the projects to challenge and face to fight with the climate change is beyond of my vision. I don't know. I'm really I'm excited. How they cook, what they did, the solar the funds or ponds there. I just watching yesterday and I say just bravo. The women are strong. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
we are moving just nicely with and I just wanted to say that Armenia really is non-stop challenges facing Armenia, non-stop. So the people could not take a breath in order to at least a bit breathe without having any confrontation from the neighborhoods. Am I correct? So this what facing Armenian people is ridiculous. My question, what's the weather, humanitarian weather now in Armenia? Now, today.
You know, we have many problems with refugees from Artsakh Republic, from Nagorno-Karabakh, because after war, after military entered in Nagorno-Karabakh, we have 1,000 people who are forced to leave their homes and come to Republic of Armenia, and now they suffer. They haven't any home to live, work, and they suffering in many issues. So humanitarian aid in this case is very, very important case topic in Armenia, because we have 1,000 refugees, and there is no any future programs or future actions what can help them. So nowadays we are just practicing all processing we are doing with local people, like many families give their clothes, houses to refugees to ensure their life, their health. So we are trying to help refugees now by myself, by Armenian local with helping with local people. So this is only help the refugees in Armenia can get.
Okay, and also provoke questions. I think everybody in the newsletter, you heard that about the so-called peace agreement between Azerbaijan and Armenia, and you heard about that as well. So I am precisely, and I would just ask how this peace agreement. I think Annie, you are with us? Oh, she have a connectivity issue, so she will come back. So it was really amazing and a nice question, but I will ask her later because it's too important for us to listen. So, Zoraida, I know you are working hard now, and this topic, humanitarian crisis, important for you. I have a question. How can humanitarian mediation facilitate safe access to affected communities during the crisis?
Bueno, la mediación humanitaria realmente cumple una función importante porque primero analiza la situación de crisis, busca con las partes cómo solucionarla y buscan realmente cómo llegar en forma canalizada esa ayuda a cada una de las personas. Entonces, para hacerla más efectiva de una manera inmediata, porque de otra manera realmente las ayudas que llegan a los civiles siempre es mucho más lenta. A través de la mediación se agiliza ese proceso de ayuda humanitaria a cada una de las personas mediante la canalización de la problemática.
I'm sorry, it is very epic what I have during this question. problems with electricity. So I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. So, dear Zoraida, I understand that Solo answered the question, and after we will come back to Annie. You are muted. You finished your answer because okay, I understand a little bit Spanish, but not.
Sí, no, había dicho que la mediación humanitaria realmente es importante porque ayuda a canalizar la ayuda que se realiza haciendo un análisis de la problemática. De esa manera se busca entre las partes organizar cómo llevar esa ayuda y se realiza de una manera más efectiva y mucho más rápida. Una vez que se encuentra cuál es el punto principal de la problemática y se buscan estrategias como para poder canalizar la ayuda y de que ésta realmente sea efectiva.
Okay, you mentioned it in your presentation about organizations like Doctor Without Borders, UNLPC. How this organization combine humanitarian aid with mediation process? How they can achieve the sustainable impact in conflict zones?
Bueno, los principios, o sea, las organizaciones que realmente actúan de una manera conjunta para realizar la ayuda humanitaria, como Médicos Sin Fronteras y otros, como existen también las organizaciones de migrantes en México, realmente se organizan junto con, valga la redundancia, se organizan con grupos de personas voluntarias, ya sean mediadores, como también personas que puedan ayudar de forma voluntaria a canalizar las ayudas. Se hacen un plan en donde cada uno cumple una función, ya sea en el caso de los médicos, la ayuda sanitaria, en el caso de los mediadores, ver que esa ayuda sanitaria sea canalizada y llevada a cabo de una manera efectiva y en los lugares donde realmente se necesiten. Lo mismo cuando hablamos de la parte alimentaria, porque cuando existen conflictos de las distintas índoles, siempre tenemos necesidades tanto de la parte médica, alimentaria, inclusive de logística. Y para todas esas partes realmente necesitamos la ayuda de mediadores humanitarios para que lleguen de manera efectiva cada una de las soluciones a las partes que se necesitan. Y siempre primando los principios que tiene la mediación humanitaria, que es el de priorizar la parte humana, hacer que sea neutral, que no participen en las partes personas que tengan intereses que puedan beneficiarse, sino que se mantengan neutral y también que, sobre todo, que sea imparcial. El mediador siempre tiene que mantenerse neutral, imparcial y enfocarse a la parte humanitaria que es la que está siendo más vulnerada en todas las crisis. Realmente se busca proteger a la ciudadanía toda con la participación de los mediadores, que gracias a su neutralidad consiguen muchas veces con éxito y otras siguen procurando para que realmente los muy vulnerables.
Oh, thank you, gracias, Zoraida. So we're coming back to Annie, to Armenia, and we repeat our question, which is so interesting, not only for us, globally, the people ask question, what next? how's in reality? We witnessed it, this shaking hands and peaceful agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and there have been a mediator between them, peace mediator, who helped them to come to agreement. We have a questions. If this agreement already came to the force and you have changes in Armenia, is this agreement only on paper or really will be in action? And another one, we do know that humanitarian crises are increasingly prolonged and they are really politicized. How can this humanitarian sector actually stay neutral and yet effective in highly polarized context? This polarized, is faced by witnessing this Armenia-Azerbaijan crisis.
As an Armenian citizen, I can say that I am a part of the conflict, and but as a mediator, I must say that in any conflict, both of parties have very in both parties, people are there very emotional, and every question, every issue is very emotional for them, because many families lost their parents, their sons, from both sides. It's a tragic for both side people, because mothers have no nation, and sons also have no nations. Your child is always your child. So when you lose your child, it is no matter what nation you are. So these questions and negotiation and conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, it is continue to be issue, continue to be question with a lot of questions. And Armenian people now haven't any answers to that questions, and because many processes are going without involving just citizens, peoples in this process, and it is normal in many of cases, because negotiation process involving most of government representatives. So citizens didn't took part in any negotiation, but in any case, I can mention that in any conflict, it is very important to negotiate, and it is very important to have solving problems in peace way, because war is difficult and is awful for both parties, for both nations, and nobody wants to lose their parents, their sons, their homes. So the main thing that when we can all do is to mediate, to negotiate for solving this problem in peace.
Yes, sure. What I can say, we just can assume the legislature have the government and they can do negotiation. But what is our point? The point of the organizations is we are NGOs, and here I see a lot of leaders of NGOs. What we can do, we can bring ideas to the table for the government. We can bring a lot of work And we are facing at the same time with the government worldwide, the challenges. And what we can do, we can find these solutions one by one, especially this kind of profession as you are, experts. Not all of the government representatives, they are really an experts in their field, not all of them. They can be expert and understand. So what is our duty to help them to reach this stage where the humanitarian aid will not be in political table? The humanitarian aid have to be independent. They have to free this organization have to be free. If someone wants to tell me no, it's not correct, please. But in this 10 years in this decade of IAMPE declaration, I do believe, as I say to Louisa's in the previous plenary session, in this session, I would like to see all these camps, refugee camps, free, empty. We don't need camps. We need united people without home, with the families in their houses, having a job, smiling, united borders of these conflict countries. And I think the friendship, sometimes we have to say enough and come to agreement. In order to come to agreement, we, someone, an expert, have to show will. Okay, we are facing huge provocation. Without this, that's why we are facing now a lot of conflicts, I think. So, but the grace of the God and our willingness and our expertise, we can build peaceful world together. I want to say thank you, each of you, each of the panelists. And please open the camera because we want to make the final Thursday final picture. Yes, correct. We will do final picture. Louise, hello, my dear. I just read you are correct. This is our honorary member in Kenya, Louise Warungi. See, and Nancy is representing Kenya at this conference. So, Louise, she's doing great job as well in Kenya. She's honorary advocate. And Luis Mikhail from Luisos, please open the camera. We are doing the picture. So let me share to all of them that we are taking a picture. Oh, perfect. Here, everybody is here. So I will do the now picture. Smiling, peaceful smile. Peaceful say cheers. We did it. Day one, officially closing. Very nice pictures. I will do again. Perfect. I want to say thank you, each of you, Nancy, Zoraida, Annie, Krishma, Louise, Louises, Araceli, Vasu. Thank you very much. And Dr. Tilangayam. Thank you very much. You are the flowers of our beautiful planet. So let's shine and bring a smile and kindness. The more kindness we do, it's like share the cup of the smile. It's our flash mob. So if you will go buy a cup of the coffee, tea, or juice, behind of you, someone anonymously, because the kindness actually is anonymously. If you go show off and take pictures, see, I did the kindness. This is such a showing like, you know, you are show off a bit. But kindness is anonymously. You have to do something nice. And after, just share the small piece of the smile with this kind of action. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we have huge Latin American panelists. So you can attend in the YouTube, so you can use translation online. Araceli is doing great job. He's translating in the chat box in Zoom, so you can direct see translation each of the speakers. However, you can use it YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Talks from Cyprus, Georgia, Kenya, Romania, India, Paraguay, and Ecuador. See you tomorrow.
See you, Christina. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hasta luego. Gracias, Cristín.
Gracias. Bye. Bye, Luis. Bye.